Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by to hang out with us today. The support is very appreciated. So with that said, why the people closest to us can hurt us the most? Have you ever noticed how a harsh word from a loved one can echo in your mind for days, while criticism from a stranger barely registers? Why is it that the people we let into our hearts have the greatest power to wound us? Today we're exploring the deep psychological and philosophical reasons why those closest to us can hurt us the most, and how we can use this understanding to grow, heal, and live more fully. Emotional investment, the double-edged sword closeness, isn't just about proximity, it's about vulnerability. When we form close relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners, we invest our emotions, hopes, and trust. This emotional investment is what makes relationships meaningful, but it's also what makes us susceptible to pain. The more we care, the more we risk. Psychologists have found that the brain processes social pain much like physical pain. When someone we trust lets us down, it triggers the same neural pathways as a physical injury. That's why a betrayal or harsh comment from a loved one can feel like a punch to the gut. The expectation trap. We expect more from those we love. We hope they'll support us, understand us, and have our backs. When they don't, it's not just disappointing, it's shattering. The gap between our expectations and reality creates a deep sense of loss. If a friend dismisses your dreams or a family member criticizes your choices, it's not just about their words. It's about the hopes you had for their role in your life. Attachment and childhood patterns. Attachment theory tells us that our earliest relationships shape how we approach intimacy and trust. If you grew up with consistent, loving caregivers, you might expect the same from your adult relationships. When those expectations are unmet, it can trigger old wounds. On the other hand, if you experience neglect or unpredictability, you might be especially sensitive to any perceived rejection, making even small slights feel enormous. The power dynamic in relationships. Giving someone a place in your inner circle is giving them power. The power to affect your mood, your confidence, and sometimes even your sense of self-worth. When this power is misused, intentionally or not, the effects can be devastating. A parent's disapproval, a partner's criticism, or a friend's betrayal can linger for years, shaping how we see ourselves in the world. Accidental harm and miscommunication. It's important to remember that most hurt isn't intentional. Often it's the result of stress, miscommunication, or unresolved issues. But even when there's no malice, the impact can be profound. A thoughtless comment from someone you love can echo in your mind, especially if it hits a sensitive spot. The mirror effect. Those closest to us act as mirrors, reflecting back not just our strengths, but also our weaknesses and insecurities. When a loved one points out something we're already unsure about, it can feel like confirmation of our worst fears. This mirroring can trigger defensiveness, shame, or anger, amplifying the hurt. Growth through pain. Here's a silver lining. Pain in close relationships can be a catalyst for growth. It forces us to confront our expectations, boundaries, and communication styles. Philosophers like Socrates believe that the unexamined life is not worth living. Sometimes the pain inflicted by those closest to us is an invitation to examine our lives more deeply. The cycle of hurt. Hurt in close relationships can become cyclical. One person feels slighted and responds defensively, which then hurts the other, and so on. Recognizing this cycle is the first step to breaking it. Open communication, empathy, and forgiveness are essential tools for healing. The importance of boundaries. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about protecting your well-being. If someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, it's okay to assert your needs. This can be hard, especially if you fear conflict or rejection, but it's a crucial part of self-care. Cultural and social factors. Culture shapes how we experience and respond to hurt. In some cultures, family and community are paramount, and stepping outside of those expectations can lead to profound pain. Social norms dictate how we should behave in relationships, and when those norms are broken, the fallout can be intense. The role of forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting or excusing hurtful behavior. It's about letting go of resentment for your own peace of mind. Holding on to anger can keep you trapped in pain, Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, freeing you to move forward. Practical steps for healing. So, how do we heal when we've been hurt by someone close to us? Here are some practical steps. Acknowledge the pain. Validates your experience and begins the healing process. Communicate openly. Clears up misunderstandings and allows for resolution. Set boundaries. Protects your well-being and prevents future hurt. Seek support. Offers perspective and emotional relief. Practice self-compassion. Helps you heal without self-blame. Reflect on the relationship. Assesses if the relationship is worth maintaining. Forgive if you're ready. Frees you from carrying the weight of resentment. A personal reflection. There was a time in my life when I felt deeply betrayed by someone I trusted. For a long time, I let that pain define my view of relationships. But over time, I realized that pain was a signal, a sign that I had invested deeply and that I cared. It also showed me where my boundaries needed work and where my expectations needed adjusting. That experience, while difficult, ultimately helped me grow into a more compassionate and resilient person. If you're going through something similar, know that you're not alone and that healing is possible. Using pain as a pathway to wisdom. Every hurt is an invitation to greater self-awareness. When we pause to examine why certain words or actions cut so deeply, we often uncover hidden fears, unresolved childhood wounds, or unmet needs. This self-exploration can be uncomfortable, but it's also the birthplace of wisdom. When we learn to sit with our pain rather than run from it, we gain the power to transform it. Think of the people who have hurt you most. What did you learn about yourself in those moments? Did you discover a need for stronger boundaries? A longing for acceptance? A pattern you want to break? These insights are gifts, painful, yes, but invaluable for your journey toward wholeness. How to move forward. Here are some final strategies to help you process and heal from the pain and to detain caused by those closest to you. Journaling. Write down your feelings, your memories, and your hopes for the relationship. Sometimes seeing your thoughts on paper helps you make sense of them. Mindfulness and meditation. Practicing mindfulness can help you observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Meditation can create space between you and your pain, allowing you to respond rather than react. Therapeutic conversations. If possible, talk openly with the person who hurt you. Approach the conversation with curiosity rather than accusation. Ask questions, share your feelings, and listen to their perspective. Community support. Sometimes the best healing happens in community. Whether it's friends, support groups, or online communities like this one, connecting with others who understand can be incredibly validating and healing. Redefining relationships. Not every relationship is meant to last forever in its original form. Sometimes healing means letting go or redefining the terms of your connection. This isn't failure, it's growth, the beauty of imperfect love. No relationship is perfect. We all make mistakes, say things we regret, and sometimes hurt the people we love. What matters is how we respond. Do we grow, apologize, forgive, and strive to do better? Or do we let pain build walls between us? Remember, the capacity to be hurt is also the capacity to love deeply. It's a sign of your openness, your courage, and your humanity. Don't let pain close your heart. Instead, let it teach you, strengthen you, and remind you of the beauty of authentic connection and invitation. If you're struggling with the pain of being hurt by someone close to you, I invite you to reflect on what this experience is teaching you about yourself, your needs, and your boundaries. Use this as an opportunity for growth, not just for yourself, but for your relationships as well. And as always, if you need a community to process these experiences, you're welcome here. This channel is a safe space for exploring the tough questions of life, love, and self-understanding. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. I have more videos for you to sink your teeth into. God bless, and I do really appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video.